So our title, I think it's a very special title that we have chosen, that the 3 discoveries of our land, as we spoke the last 2 days in TMDC auditorium also. The first day I was saying that we don't know our heritage, and that is why we do not give enough of importance to our own cultural heritage. So we don't have the confidence and the faith in our own country, in our own heritage. So it is our duty to understand what are the greatest contributions to the human intellect in our country. And when we think about it, we find that we have the greatest discoveries of the world from our country. I am not talking about the scientific discoveries or the contribution of zero or astronomical anything. The whole world is enamoured of the scientific discoveries, and we think that is the only rational way. But the same rationality, if we take further, we land on the 3 discoveries regarding our own personality, our own subject. That is the point of discussion today. In the Western science, when it started, we had the first question that I, being a part of the world, how can I analyze the world? So the first proposition or the postulate on which the entire Western science is based is that we cannot find out the truth of the world because I am a part of the world. But as we see the world, we can investigate and we can infer various things in the world. So we will assume whatever we are perceiving in the world to be true. We will not go into the truth of what we are saying and what it can finally mean, but we will accept that what we see, what we perceive to be true, and then investigate what are the implications of that. In our country, when the people, the rishis, those who were the thinkers of our country, they found that the external world is all transitory, and when we look into the cause of it, we don't find out any cause. The reasoning is very simple. It is in Western science as well as in our spiritual science, it is there, only the name is different. If we think the world is based on causality, as we find everywhere, causality is operating. If we look for a cause for A and find out B to be the cause of A, suppose where from did the world come, we can investigate and find out that it has come from the sun, but the earth came from the sun. We can find out, we can try to think where from did the sun come. Like that we can proceed to any extent in the material range for the material cause. Suppose we land on the ultimate cause to be the Z, that B the cause of A, C the cause of B. Like that we continue indefinitely and finally land on Z. Naturally the causality will force us to question where from did Z come. If we think that God is some personality sitting somewhere in the sky or anywhere, then the question will come, where from did God come? The question cannot be subdued. It is part of causality we are seeing in the world. So finally we have to agree that there cannot be, if at all there is a cause for the world, there cannot be any material cause. That has to be accepted. And the Western science also accepts that finally we cannot go ahead with that inquiry further, because our entire inquiry is based on the causality. Suppose we say that the ultimate cause is a causeless cause, as often we say about our Brahma created in the elementary level, that he is Swayambhu and there is no cause. That is the ultimate cause we try to project as a causeless cause. But that is again betraying our very causality. When we say it is a causeless cause, it is only stopping our inquiry for the causality. Because if the causeless cause is the cause of the universe, then again causality is applicable there. So artificially we are terminating our analysis of causality. So our people did not accept. They said that what is other than the matter an energy or whatever the objects, the objective world, what else is available in us, before us, to understand the cause? They found that we have missed the main thing. We, as the observer of the world, we have eliminated us right in the beginning. We means not our personality alone. We know very well that our body, mind, personality is part of the world. But something in us is observing the body, mind, personality as well as the world. So that is the consciousness, the subject, which is revealing everything, that knowerhood in us, which is revealing the external world and which is also revealing our thoughts, our internal thoughts, our intelligence. Everything is revealed by that. What is that revealer in us? That is what we refer to as I. So without investigating into that I, the subject, we cannot conclude anything over there. But that consciousness which still exists and which says that there is no material cause is not the cause of the universe. That was the investigation. I cannot go into all the details of the investigation because it's not possible in this short time, but I will try to make it as simple as possible in a broad manner to go into the discovery. Before that, you may wonder what are the three discoveries. So I will not keep you under suspense what I mean by the three discoveries. They are one discovery, but in effect they become three. We can call it threefold discovery also. Can you put this? We will put the slide in front so that we don't lose track of the three discoveries. The first one is the discovery of our real identity. That is, we are saying I, but what is that real I? What is our real identity? I will go into a little detail that when we are conversing, often we say that I am sick today. The next moment we say that my body is not alright today. We have to understand that there is a confusion in our expression. When we are saying I am sick, that means I am the body. Whereas when we are saying my body is not alright today or is sick today, the body becomes object before me. The body I am seeing. The subject is different from the body who is seeing. So, truly speaking, the subject is not the body. The body is an object before the subject. I assume that you understand this subject-object difference. Subject is the seer and object is what is the perceiver, and the object is whatever is perceived. This is the fundamental ground. We can go deeper in it about the mind. What about the mind? Sometimes we say, I am very depressed today, or I am very jovial today. Sometimes we say, my mind is not alright today. Again the same confusion, that we are associating ourselves, identifying ourselves with the mind, and next moment we are saying, mind I possess. It's a possessive case. So, the true viewer, if I am seeing the changes in the mind, that I am different from the mind, the subject is different from the mind. So, mind becomes an object before me. The same case holds good, even if it is an intelligence, our intelligence. The intelligence is not sharp today. The intelligence is not what it is today, what it was 10 years ago. All the changes of the intelligence has been seen by me, observed by me. I have been watching that. The perceiver is different from the intelligence also. Like that, when we go inside to find out, then what is that subject? You have to follow me very thoughtfully, deeply. What is that I then? We go farther, deeper within to find out what is that I. What happens is that our very effort becomes self-defeating. Why? Because if I can find out I as the moment I find out, I say that this is the self, this is the I, this is the subject. It no longer remains the I, the subject. It becomes an object before me which I am perceiving. Am I clear? If I can determine or say that, well, this is the self I have discovered, then it is not the self, because who has discovered the self? Who has revealed the self? I am saying I have discovered the self. That I is different from the self I have discovered. So by my effort to discover the self, I have objectivized the self. Am I clear? The self which is subject, I have made it into an object, and then I am saying that cannot be the subject, that cannot be the self. So we encountered the greatest difficulty in our effort to discover the self, because every effort to know it is self-defeating. We can know it only as when it becomes an object, by making it an object. So naturally the question comes, if that is so, then self has to reveal itself, only then we can know. What happened is that, maybe we can conjecture from our own experiences that what happened at that time. I am talking about a discovery which took place in thousands and thousands of years ago. We don't know when. It is prehistoric, and how many thousands of years ago also we cannot say. Nothing is there, no record is of that. Only the record of the findings are there, and those records have been confirmed era to era by any number of persons who have done the experiment. Now what happens is that this is the subject is the revealer of the external world through the senses, and it is the revealer of the thoughts of our mind, the intelligence, the emotions, whatever is within our body. It is the revealer of the internal world as well as the external world. So we are always focused on what is revealed. Suppose this paper is revealed. Our focus always goes on the paper. We miss the revealer which is revealing the paper. Finally, although we are seeing with the eyes, finally where it is getting revealed, the nerve impulses go within, in the brain. In the brain some sensation is created, but they are all electrical signals only. Finally, we are calling it paper. In the mind, the knowledge is revealed in the mind. Who is revealing the thoughts? It is revealed again in the consciousness. So, we are missing the revealer every time because our mind is focused on the object it is revealed. It can be external object, it can be internal object. It can be a thought, it can be an external object. But the revealer we miss because the focus is on that what is revealed. Now when we leave this effort, if we can forego this effort finally, that to find out what is the self, because to find out what is the self, we will always land up again in an object. When we forego the effort to discover the self, and because of our intensity, we forget the whole world, including our body, mind, personality. That means the mind becomes calm. It becomes absolutely thoughtless, quiet. The intelligence no longer struggles to find out, is it the self or is it not? Where have I come? Is it the self? That is also a function of the intelligence. That also stops. Then what happens? The revealer reveals itself. The self is revealing the whole world, the external as well as the internal. The self reveals itself also.